about to give them what they want. I don't think they're ready for this, though. Beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, beast mode.
What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. Chris Jones, representing Pump Chasers. So guys, I want to make this video right here, talking a little bit about a video I saw today. Today is what, Saturday? Let me look at the date. Yeah, Saturday, June 24th, 2023, if you're watching in the future. Now, I just got done watching this video by a young man named Tristyn Lee. Don't follow him closely, but I try to dibble and dab and, you know, kind of somewhat keep up with the fitness community. You know, I love bodybuilding, and I still have a love for the fitness community, although it has changed tremendously since the golden era. And I'm watching a video of Tristyn Lee talking with two men, Mike Israel and Jared Feather, I believe is his last name, Jared though. They're really speaking my language, you know. I really love, like I tell you guys many times, I'm a trainer, first and foremost, bodybuilder second. So they're speaking my language. I'm just checking them out, you know, hearing what they gotta say, hearing that good word. Paul, I'm trying to make, I'm watching the video, and there's just one statement that was made that I didn't really like. So I'm making a video about it, you know? And if anybody in this video, I mean anyone, Tristyn, Mike, Jared, for sure, got a problem with what I say, I would love to have a debate. I'm not asking for one, but I would love to talk about it live on video. No camera edits, no nothing. We can just talk about this shit live. And explain why do you feel like your statement is the truth. And I'll explain why my statement is the truth. And let the people decide who's right. But before we get there, let's talk about what I did like. For context, understand this. Tristyn Lee has been doing a carnivore diet for the past 2 years. Very similar to keto. So pretty much he went from carnivore style dieting, very low carb, right? Little to no carbs. And he's converting into more balance, introducing carbs into his diet. I'm assuming Jared has been coaching him based off the video, okay? And he pretty much said, I was holding a lot of water weight and it dropped once I started adding the carbs. Check out Mike's response.
But it was actually the opposite for me. Do you have any idea why that may have been?
My best hypothesis is that because you were eating essentially no carbohydrate, you were training like a monster, you were in a very overreach state. Your total body systemic stress was very high. You were thus in a permanent halfway fight or flight response. That degree of stress in many people, not all, but most, causes a retention of water, particularly under the skin.
Right.
And that can be a lot of water weight, 5 to 10 pounds, no problem. I mean, carbs tend to reduce cortisol more than the other nutrients, which is a direct stress hormone. And when they do that, your body's like, oh, okay, oh my God, we're not fight or flight anymore. Once you're not fight or flight, a lot of that body water will start to drop off. And something you probably noticed was your muscles felt fuller and tighter, but you actually looked leaner because under the skin water had gone away.
Right.
That's my best guess as to why you temporarily lost a whole bunch of body water.
So as you see, Mike pretty much explained to him, there's a hormonal aspect to bodybuilding, and that could explain why the water was dropped. See guys, if you watch my video, I just posted it a few days ago about calories in versus calories out not being everything. There's a hormonal aspect to bodybuilding that we do not talk about enough. As above, so below. It's literally backed by universal law. Fuck law of man. Universal law. It's backed by the universal law of correspondence. Just like we got the planets in space moving in harmony, your physical body got organs that must also move in harmony. Move and flow, vibrate in harmony if you want your vibration nice and balanced, guys. So I really like that answer. Cortisol, it's a hormone, like it or not, guys. When you're really hungry, Shit, it could be because your ghrelin levels are increased. There's a reason, there's a root for everything. Once you understand there's a hormonal aspect to this shit, everything makes more sense. So I like that answer. Answer number 2 that I really liked, that I would like to add on top of that. Tristyn said, I noticed I didn't really get sore while I was on the carnivore diet, and I noticed that I'm starting to get sore now that I'm introducing carbs.
Could you speak a little bit to what that is indicative of, that level of soreness or that adjustment in soreness after adding in carbohydrates?
Yeah, it at least shows you that there's some sort of correlation of eating carbohydrates and what that does as far as actually creating that muscular damage and creating or kickstarting the processes necessary to build the lean tissue. So it's like, when I go hypercaloric, I immediately also get a lot more sore. When I'm deep into contest prep, I also notice that I'm not getting a lot of soreness. That's not inherently a good thing.
Yeah.
Getting excessively sore, or even just detecting soreness in the muscle tissue, isn't also a surefire way to say, hey, I'm definitely building lean muscle. But it's definitely something that we can, with the data on it, say, this is it's probably a good idea if you're a little sore and your frequency of training is correct and everything like that.
Now, Jared made a good point. You know, everything's connected and everything works together. And adding those carbs could stimulate the growth process more. Mike Israel made a good point saying, bodybuilders take insulin and eat carbs for a reason. I would also like to add this. Stated in the video, you can watch for yourself, Jared said he dropped Tristyn's protein and boosted up the carbs. See, one thing we gotta realize, protein has amino acids when they're broken down. You know, there's a study right here. Shout outs to Alan Aragon, okay? We don't really see eye to eye on branched chains. He's not a fan of branched chain, but he's a scientist and an author. I actually have one of his books in my office. But there's a study he posted on branched chains, okay? And if you look on the screen, I'm putting it on the screen, it clearly says right there, BCA supplementation reduces muscle soreness. Now check this out. Alan Aragon is not a fan of branched chains. He believes it's a waste of money, and he says it does not increase your performance, but clearly in this study it says reduces muscle soreness. And remember, BCA stands for branched chain amino acids. Proteins from meats are a complete protein source because they have those essential amino acids. Also, they have those branch chains. So when your protein is higher, you're getting more branch chains by default. That could also explain why he was less sore. Also, keep in mind, when you increase your carbs, your muscle glycogen increases. What does glycogen do? Glycogen holds water. We think of water as some shit we just drink when we're thirsty. They keep us hydrated. Remember, all the cells in our body need water. All the cells in our body need water. Why? Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. What does that have to do with water? Everything. Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It does what? Changes form. That means it changes in appearance. It changes in form. Water literally changes form. It goes from solid, liquid, and gas. So what is water? It's literally a representation of energy. Water is literally life force energy. When your glycogen goes up, you literally have more life force energy in your vessel, which allows you to go a little harder, which is going to allow you to get more of a pump. You understand? So yes, I like those answers, but there's more to it. There's more reason why this young man could be getting sore once he changed his diet a bit. You know, less protein means less amino acids. And also, more carbs mean you got more of life force energy. You can go a little harder. You might push a little harder, get closer to failure. You might want to do more drop sets. You understand? You have more life force energy, and if you use it, guess what? Your body has to adjust to this new standard of training. So again, those are two things I liked about the video. Now let's get to what I don't like, because this video is already long enough. I don't want to go too way off topic. I just don't like saying what I don't like without at least saying what I do like, because it comes off like you're attacking people, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm only making this video because I don't like the choice of words in the video. And I'm not the type of person that complains in comment sections. I'm not the type of person that really likes going back and forth with people. If somebody says some shit that I don't agree with, I'll call them straight out, you know, and stand on my shit and be willing to debate with them anytime, anywhere, any place, because that's how I move. What he said was this right here.
If you were dieting down super fucking hard, so somebody who's going from a super massive cutting diet into maintenance or trying to get out of that super harsh low body fat percentage realm, that percent gain is absolutely fucking fine right out of the gate. Like, the reverse dieting stuff is silly. You don't need to do it. You can go ahead and try to get your body fat back up from like 5% to 8 or 9% right away. It's absolutely okay.
So as you see, he pretty much said reverse dieting is silly.
Reverse dieting stuff is silly. You don't need to do it.
Now, if he would have said, I don't agree with reverse dieting, that would have been cool. I'd be like, cool, that's his opinion. We all have the right to reserve our own opinions. He's free to believe what he wants. I just don't agree with the choice of words, because when you say it's silly, and that's what I do, and that's what I do for a lot of my clients, now you're calling me silly. I'm not saying reverse dieting is the way, but it is definitely a way. And if you want to debate that shit live on camera, no editing, no nothing, just live, me and you on a camera, explaining why we feel the way we feel, with the facts to back our claims, please hit me up, sir. I would really like that shit. That would make my day, you know? At the end of the day, guys, the body is highly adaptable. Highly adaptable. You know, as you see, Tristyn Lee is taking in carbs and he's not fat. Why? Because his body is adjusting to this new diet. The diet is the foundation. It just takes time to adjust. Only thing reverse dieting means, keyword reverse, literally means a change in direction. Like it or not, by every stretch of the definition, he's already reverse dieting. You literally took his protein from one direction and changed it to another direction. You lowered his protein. You took his carbs from one direction and you put them in the other direction. You increased his carbs. Remember, the diet is the foundation. That is also backed by universal law, thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics is energy cannot be created or destroyed, by the way. This is the reason why you cannot outwork a bad diet. He's already reverse dieting. We just call it something else. Maybe you're not a fan of the word reverse dieting, but it is reverse dieting. It's just a different speed. He said in his video, you can go from like 4 to 5% body fat to 8% body fat or so relatively quick, just to get yourself feeling better. Yes, you can do that. Or you can use the universal laws to your advantage. You can do the nice, slow, steady approach. And guess what? You can stay super lean, and eventually your body will start feeling significantly better, because what you're doing is you're changing your vibrational state by using homeostasis to your advantage. Homeostasis works all across the board. All you're going to be doing is making small, very small changes to your diet and allow your body to adjust naturally. Let me give you an example, right? So if you diet for, let's say, 15 weeks and you get yourself down to like 7 or 8% body fat, right? You've been doing an hour cardio 6 days a week, and your carbs are now down to 100 grams. Well, instead of going to 10% body fat in a week, you can just go from 60 minutes of cardio to 50. You can drop your protein down a little bit and add 30 grams of carbs. Do that for a full week and see how your body adjusts. You'll notice that your energy outside the gym might change a little bit. Instead of lounging around on the couch after work because all you have energy to do is work out. How many of you guys have ever been through that? How many guys have experienced that? Comment below where you're dieting so tough, you only have energy to go to work and go to the gym. You don't have energy to really do anything else. You're gonna notice your energy outside of the gym is gonna go up a little bit, right? You're gonna notice your mood's gonna change a little bit. You're gonna notice you're gonna have a little more energy in the gym. So although you increased your carbs a bit, increased your calories a little bit, and decreased your cardio a little bit, you're still burning a little more calories. So you might even get leaner. You could possibly get even leaner. Unfortunately, to reverse diet this way takes a level of discipline that the average lifter does not have. Here's another example. Let's say you do a natural bodybuilding show. You get very lean, like 4 or 5% body fat. After the show, right, you want a reverse diet. Now, you could take your body fat percentage to 8 to 10% overnight, like this guy says does, or you can reverse diet. You know, play around with your fats, your carbs, your protein numbers. For sure, drop the cardio, and you can make changes by the week, nice and slow. By the time you get to like 10% body fat, your calories will be up by a significant amount. By a significant amount. It's going to be really good for your metabolic adaptation. Again, the body is highly adaptable. It is literally a machine. But again, this approach takes a lot of discipline. A lot of discipline. You will not be miserable on a reverse diet. A reverse diet and a diet, they're both styles of dieting, but two different kinds of dieting. Just think about walking up a steep hill. You still have to walk down that hill. Same thing. I like to look at reverse dieting like walking down the hill. Now you can't walk down crazy fast. You might fuck around and stumble. You have to use a specific type of form when you're walking down the hill. But walking down the hill is a little easier than going up the hill. If you climb up a mountain, you still have to come down from that mountain. I like to look at reverse dieting as a diet, but a different type of dieting. And let me tell you, it takes a lot of discipline, but if you can stick to that, it will benefit you tremendously. It is not silly. I'm not saying reverse dieting is the way, but it's definitely a way. But just because you don't have the discipline to do that shit don't mean it's not a path. Just because the path is too extreme for you don't mean that path is not an option. Reverse dieting works. And let me say something else. I don't want to go too deep on this shit because, you know, I don't want to make this video too long. But again, if you want to debate the shit, please hit me up. I would love that shit because I'm really holding back. I'm low-key holding back because I don't want to go too deep on this shit. I'll save it for the debate if we take it there. I'd rather not. But I'm ready. I just want to put my message out there, you know. I don't like my way of life being disrespected, you know. I stand firm on bulking. I've already said that for years, and I stand firm on reverse dieting. And fun fact, every time I cut, I don't always reverse diet. Sometimes I don't give a fuck. I just immediately start bulking. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not going to sit here and say reverse dieting does not work and reverse dieting is not a path. And I damn sure ain't going to say it's silly. It works. Also, let's just stop ignoring the elephant in the room. This man is clearly enhanced. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto the person who has to go to the gun store and buy the guns and complete his missions and, you know, make his wanted level decrease by really outrunning those cops and shit like that, he had a harder journey than the person who has all the cheat codes. He can just push a certain combination, make his wanted level go down. He can push a certain combination and make guns pop up out of nowhere. I'm not saying people on steroids have it much easier than the natural community, but let's be real here. Steroid users, performance enhancement users, you have cheat codes that the natural lifter could only dream of. I think steroids are fucking silly. Fuck it. I said it. See, that's my opinion. You gave your opinion? Fuck it. I think steroids are fucking silly. Fuck it. You want to debate that? We can debate reverse dieting, and then we can debate why I think taking steroids is fucking silly. That's my opinion. I'm free to it. All bullshit aside, all jokes aside, I don't think steroids are silly. You know, however, I do believe there's a difference between taking performance enhancement drugs to actually push yourself harder versus taking performance enhancement drugs to cheat yourself out of hard work. Huge difference between taking steroids to get to the next level versus taking steroids to get some kind of shortcut. There's a lot of people taking steroids and shit and they look natural. Don't even look enhanced. And if you're offended by my words, I don't mean to be offended, but take it how you want to take it, because that's how I feel, and I stand on what I say. Also, before we wrap this video up, I'm going to give a shout out to Lane Norton. I gave a shout out to Alan Aragon. I'm going to give a shout out to Lane Norton. Just like I disagree with Alan on his views on BCAAs, I don't agree with everything Lane says, but his opinion holds weight and his opinion is valuable to this community. Because for one, he promotes the natural way. He promotes the natural path. He's coached natural bodybuilders and helped them win their natural pro cards. He's competed in natural drug-tested organizations. And he has a PhD. So, in my humble opinion, his opinion holds weight in this community, like him or not. Again, I don't agree with everything he say, but his opinion holds weight. And guess what? Lane Norton has an ebook on reverse dieting. My question is this: whose opinion you gonna take? A PhD who walks the natural path? Or this guy? I'm taking Lane Norton on this one. Not trying to make two brothers go against each other. Not trying to be that guy. But I had to go there to prove my point. His opinion is just one opinion. But in this game, if you want full spectrum of truth, truth is light, frequency. And if you want the fullest spectrum possible, try to get a full circle. Meaning get as many points of view as possible. And Lane Norton is a point of view you want to hear. I think Chris Jones is the point of view you want to hear. I think a Greg Doucette is a point of view you want to hear. Get as many points of view as possible, and then you come to your own conclusion. I believe wholeheartedly reverse dieting works great for the ones that are disciplined enough to do it. Point blank period. It is not silly, and anybody that wants to debate that, please hit me up. I am ready today, tomorrow, anytime. Anytime. Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe, and buy 30 of them bitches. Bruno's long gone, rest in peace. He no longer leaves those treats. But guess what? I need your support. Peace. of silence before we fuck up these weights.